All right, guys. So let's begin with our today's alumni meet. We are going to invite the placed candidates one by one, and and we will explore the interview questions by interacting with them, right? But this is an online alumni meet. So I'm seeing some students have come offline. That's okay. Uh, some speakers for online discussion might not be that clear, but try to listen carefully. So if you wish to talk to any placed candidates of Pankaj Sir Academy, feel free to call us on this number 9632629033 or 455. Whenever the candidate gets placed, we maintain the contact numbers and the details of that, which is accessible for all the students. So day wise, month wise, week wise, year wise, you get the record. So if you tell me you want to talk to candidate placed last year, you get the data. Last month, you get the data. People who got placed today or yesterday, you get that data as well, right? And you can always do the interactions with them to understand how you should prepare as a learner. What did they do in order to get these packages? And you can always follow that roadmap of the placed candidate. That is the first thing. Second thing, see what happens when you interact with the placed candidates, we get to know the syllabus. Otherwise, what students they do, they simply follow something on YouTube and somebody says, learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and that's it, right? You're ready for placements. Rather than going for these sort of informations given by the YouTubers, better listen from the placed candidates about what you should study. At times, even me as a trainer, I get to know from them that this topic questions are more, and we immediately add that content as your syllabus. That's why we never have the fixed syllabus copy here. Our syllabus copies whatever you have got it. If you observe, we do not follow that. Whatever inputs we get from these placed candidates, we take that and we start working on the syllabus. Okay. And based on their contribution, we have also prepared a question bank wherein people, when they refer that question bank, if you're done with the question bank and my classes, I can tell you 97% questions in interview will come from there only. That will be the accuracy. So questions given by placed candidates, syllabus that I'm covering, both if you're learning properly, 97% everything you're prepared with, right? So without wasting time, I would be inviting the first candidate for the day, Asif. So Asifa, I don't know. Asif is here. Mohammed Asif, yeah, is here. So very good morning.
Hi, good morning, sir.
Yeah. So Asif, let's start with your introduction. What's your qualification? Company that you've got placed in?
Yes, yeah,
Go
thank you,
ahead,
sir.
go ahead. Huh.
Yeah, I am from Ballari, Karnataka, sir.
Okay.
My highest qualification is BA Mechanical Engineering. Pass out year is 2017. So actually, I attended totally 8 interviews, sir. Out of 8, I clear the 5 interview, and also have 5 offer in my hand. So present company I am working is the this Terrologics, sir. Is located in Marthali, Bangalore.
Right. So 5 offer letters he has already got it,
Yes,
right? and he's a mechanical branch student, as I heard.
Yes.
So, Asif, tell us about the interview questions. What all questions you feel kind of it
Yes.
is very important? Please tell us that.
Yes, sir. They ask more on are you implemented the OOPS concept in your project and explain where you use it in your projects. And they ask how you choose the right collections for any implementations and difference between JPA repository and the crate repositories. And they ask what does the Spring Boot application annotations does internally. And how you connect to the database, what is Hibernate, how it is work internally. So why Java 8 is introduced, what are the features added in the Java 8, what is the Lambda expressions they use, and difference between the stream and the collections they ask. And they asked about the difference between the annotations based configuration and Java based configurations. And are you implemented the typecasting in your projects, they asked. And finally, I explained how you deploy your project into the production environment. And also they asked how you implemented the Spring security. So also they have to ask us. That's it.
So, I know you're getting a bit late for some meeting or something, but we want more questions on the project work.
Yes.
Can you elaborate that a bit? The cross questioning on the projects, because that's been one of the thing many place students they tell cross questioning on the projects happens a lot. So, what kind of cross questionings did you come across?
Yeah, sir, exactly. They asked me more on the Spring security, sir. How you implemented the Spring security in your project, they ask. So the for that I answered that I have prepared the documentation because the Spring security coding is a tough to tell me into the answer, sir. So just I'll tell that I prepare the documentation for the Spring security. Whenever I require the code for it, I just selected from the documentation. I implemented this Spring security. I told that, sir. And they are concentrating more on the work scenario questions, sir. So my suggestion is to concentrate more on the project, sir. Yeah.
Spring security, they have asked more questions. So, what
Yeah.
questions on Spring security? Did they ask you just how did you implement this in your
Yeah.
project or some cross questioning again on that?
No, sir. How you implemented the Spring security on your project? That's the ask. That's
Okay. So, just an input from my side, they might ask you the number of roles you had in your project. A possible question on Spring security you might get.
and also the pagination is a very important concept, sir.
Pagination,
Yeah.
another thing. Collection, he mentioned. Where did you implement data structures in your project? They've asked
Yeah.
this question.
Yes.
And any inputs you want to give it to your juniors?
Yeah, sir. They are asking more in the work scenario questions. So my suggestion is to concentrate more on the projects and also practice the more projects available on the online, and also study the Java 8 features deeply. We should know the internal working of Stream APIs, Lambda expression, market interface, and also use the collections like hash map, hash set during the practicing. So finally, from my side, just to follow the guidelines of the sir, that is more than enough.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
going forward, that's where the recent updates, that basically what we have done, three projects in a batch we are going to cover. Every batch, there'll be three projects we are going to work on. ER diagrams, which was not a part of our earlier learning. We are going to focus on that. That will help you to handle a lot of scenario based questions. Like sometimes they will ask that how many tables were there in your project and how did you do the mapping between them, right? Yeah, something like that. Asif, did this happen?
Yeah, sir. They ask more concentrate on this scenario based question only, sir. Yeah,
Right. So then, so a lot of questions will come which you need to be prepared. Sometimes they might also tell you to build one simple feature of your project and show them live during the
yeah,
interview.
yes,
This also might happen. They might ask you question like in your project, where did you handle exceptions? In your project, how did you perform validations? How many roles were there in your project? How did you implement JWT token in your project? Right? Have you done the deployment of your project? Lot of cross questionings will happen.
And also where you use the override concept in your project. The override concept is very important, sir, nowadays.
Where did you use polymorphism,
Polymorph.
overriding
Yeah.
in your project? Oops concept, where did you use in your project? Can you tell me hash map? Where have you implemented practically in your project? This is all you have to be ready with. The trend is like this now. So
Yeah.
students were thinking, 2 महीने में पढ़ाई करके जॉब ले सकते हैं क्या? Then it is not possible. Proper preparation. Thank you so much, Asif, for joining us.
Y- yeah,
We
sir.
wish you
Thank you
all
very
the
much.
best and congratulations. Getting placed almost in 5 companies out of 8.
Yeah, sir.
Am I right?
Thank you. Yeah, sir.
Okay. Yes. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Now we are going to invite the next candidate, Shri Hari.
Yeah, hi sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Shri Hari. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, sir.
Okay. So Shri Hari, let's start. ये आपका display pic company वाला है क्या?
Yes, this was my earlier company. So let me discuss about myself what I did for the past 8 to 9 months. I'm working as a Java developer in the software development field. Earlier I was placed in the lower package and the company was startup. So then these things are not going well in the organization. So again, 2 months back, I've started preparing for the 1 month of preparations. Again, I able to clear 4 to 5 companies and able to I have given 8 to 9 interviews on the same. So in this tenure, while giving the interviews, I have involved so many scenario based questions on the same. That's is the kind of Spring Boot, Hibernate, and kind of architectural level concepts they have asked. Also, in this earlier company, that's in the 3 to 4 months, I have worked also with the React concept as a full stack developer. I was worked on and gained so much of knowledge and started giving the interviews on the full stack developer only. So I was able to clear all of the concepts what you have taught to us during our course, and the same thing, the same booklet we used to follow when I was not able to clear the interviews. Then I used to write all of the questions from the booklet, and all of the answers I used to figure out of what I need to talk, what I need to speak. That's why that interviewer can familiar with me. That then only he will going to select me, and that will implement my points on the interview.
Right. So we got to know about uh, scenario based questions are now kind of popular way of evaluating the candidate. There's one
Correct,
thing
sir.
is clear. So Shri Hari, little slow down. I want to speak little slowly so that because there are some offline students as well today here, and we have
Okay.
a bit of problem with our speakers when online somebody speaks. For offline, the speakers are good, but for online, there is some audio problem. So I
Okay.
want you to go a little slowly and tell me about the scenario based questions that you have come across. And,
Correct.
even I will get to know that this point I have to cover in my live classes. What scenario based questions are they asking you?
सो सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस इंटरव्यूअर इसलिए पूछते हैं कि वो जानना चाहते हैं कि बंदा पहले से वो काम कर चुका है कि नहीं कर चुका है. वो जनरली क्या क्या पूछते हैं, जैसे हमारे एक्सेल अपलोड का फीचर हमने डेवलप किया था हमारे क्लास में, तो वो बोले कि आपने जो फीचर आपने इंट्रोड्यूस किया, जो डेवलप किया, उसमें कितने साइज का आपने एक्सेल फाइल अपलोड किया. इट इज नियर अबाउट इन केबीस और एमबीस. सो वो बोले सिनेरियो दिए कि आपको अगर 5 GB का कोई फाइल मिले तो आप उसको कैसे टैकल करोगे. दैट वन
Now,
सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चन.
question number one. You got 5 GB of file that needs to be uploaded. How will you tackle that? Am I right?
यस सर.
Okay. So what was your answer, Shri Hari?
So my answer was for going into that kind of file, I will figure out what are the file reading things are there, and I use data structure on the same. I used to figure out for the file taking and putting into that location, and file processing as the separate location, separate processing unit. So I will break into smaller chunk so that it can be processed. It can be get processed to the in our DB is a large data.
Right. So how would you compress the file in layman terms, right? Before you're pushing it online? Or
Correct.
which storage mechanism will you use it? Because 5 GB of file, if you're uploading, your storage billing will become pretty heavy, right? When lot
Correct.
of
Correct,
5
sir.
GB files you keep on uploading in S3 bucket of uh, AWS or any other cloud platform, obviously when lot of people they start uploading big files, you will end up basically seeing huge billing, correct? So the target
Correct.
here will be now, how do I reduce the file size, or what is an alternative for me to store this file so that I don't end up paying a huge amount for that. So something like that, the interviewer thought process was. Okay, what else,
Yes.
Shrihari? Next.
Next question is that they have asked like you have two microservices. Then if some B microservices is not getting is up and down, then how service A will know that B microservices is down? So that question is asked in the IBM. So he has to told like you need to code the same. You need to code the things in the controller layer.
Right. So microservices, where two microservices are running, one microservice is down. How will the other microservice get to know that that service is down? Right? How will you get to know that? So what is your
So
answer, Srihari, for that? Tell that also
so
to audience.
for that we have declared like some of the get message one is the our constant. So for that get message we used to declare like this logger message will display. So dot get message was my answer. So that thing interviewers was looking into.
Right.
So yes, so I have some more scenario based questions, sir. So could I explain one by one? Like
I hope you got an idea that the level of questions that is being asked are not something basic one, right? Your preparation has to really be depth. And that's where the possibility of you getting placed will be there. So no straightforward questions. You have to learn things such that at least 70% in the interview you're answering things. Nobody is expecting 100% answers, at least 70%. 70% answers if you give right, selected. And no wrong answers to be given. The rule of interview is you don't know, say don't know. Don't end up convincing them with the wrong or the guesses. You do it and try to answer. If you don't know, directly tell, in my project, I never got an opportunity to work on this. Hence, I did not get the exposure to this. I don't know. But I learned this in future. So because I got to know that there is some concept like this. That kind of confidence you have to give it to the interviewer. Thank you so much, Srihari. Bye bye. Take care.
by
Bye. We have the next candidate, Niranjan. So very good afternoon, Niranjan.
Good afternoon, sir. How
Good
are you?
afternoon. I'm fine, Niranjan. So Niranjan, let's uh, talk about companies that you've got placed in, packages, and the questions, okay, which students should learn. So far in today's alumni meet, scenario-based questions has been one of the most commonly pointed out topic by placed candidates. मतलब डायरेक्ट डायरेक्ट आपने ऊप्स पढ़ लिया, ये पढ़ लिया, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है.
Yes, sir. Yes, perfect. Actually, yeah, I had gone through the only uh, two interviews. The first one is a Razor Pay, and
Okay.
the second one is a Deloitte.
Okay.
And I had got a placement in the Deloitte, and I have secured 11 LPA.
Okay.
And when coming to the part of the interviews, that guys have done the 3 rounds of interview.
Okay.
The first round of the interview will be the technical round, and the interview questions, when it comes to the technical round, the interview questions most of the interview questions will be like a technical questions. Not out of 10 technical questions we can accept only 3 direct to direct questions, and rest of the 7 questions is all the scenario based. What scenario based questions means, I have placed as a DevOps engineer, like cloud engineer.
Okay. What
And
scenario based questions, Niranjan, did they ask you?
sir, scenario based questions means like they have an application. They have a Java based application. I need to host a Java based application, and tell me the what is the procedure that you need to take to secure my application. What did
Okay.
you have taken in your previous organization? Like these type of questions. Like I need to set the EC2 instance for that virtual server. For that virtual server, I need to choose a RAM, and I need to choose a like a AMI kind of a things, and I need to provide the VPC for that, like a secure kind of things. And I need to, and also they have asked how you will what is the day to day task. As you are a cloud engineer, what is your day to day task? This is the most common question that every interviewer will ask.
See, one
And
thing, what I'm sensing here, if you put in your resume lot of points about AWS, they'll ask you questions about AWS.
yes, AWS.
I think Niranjan has put lot of points in his resume about AWS.
Yes.
So questions
Yes,
AWS के
sir.
बारे में ज्यादा है.
ज्यादा है.
हाँ.
Yeah, sir,
तो
that what happened.
correct. तो एक चीज का ध्यान रखना है. One thing you have to be aware of it, that put only those things in your resume which you're confident about. Just don't keep adding everything whatever you want. Right? Whatever points you're confident about, you add that. So if scenario based questions are being asked on that, at least you'll be able to manage that.
Yes, sir.
Continue, Niranjan. Yeah.
And another thing, why we need to make a confidence on those skill sets what we had put in the resume, why it is necessary means, if he asks the questions, he will pick the most of the questions related to our resume only. And one thing, when he asks the questions for that, and the mode of the answer that we will give to the interview, he will pick another question. When we are answering some kind of answers, no, in that answer only he will pick the questions. So we must particularly accurate while providing those answers. First thing.
See, what is he telling? Let's say
Like
you've written down inheritance in your resume. Let's take example like this. So he's telling, they'll ask you what is inheritance. You answered. Simple scenario. Might not be that easy. Then they'll ask, where did you implement inheritance in your project? You will explain. Then they'll ask, why did you implement inheritance here? For what reason? The cross questioning on the answers that has been given. So it is not that question asked, answer given, and job is done. Right? So you have to be prepared for those cross questioning during your interview. Correct, Niranjan?
yes, sir. Yes, perfect,
Okay.
sir.
Hmm.
And these kind of questions will arise in the technical round, and when it comes to a techno managerial round, the questions will be like a something what different. The manager expectations is a different than a first person of a technical guy. He will expect like a projects. He will more focus on the projects what we had added our projects in the resume. He will more focus on that. He will ask the most scenario questions. He will judge whether we will not able to answer accurately, but he will predict whether this guy can do our work or not. He will predict the things.
Okay. So, see, preparation should not happen only book oriented. This
Yes.
all will happen only when some 2, 3 projects you guys work on. Then only your thinking will open up. It cannot happen just learning theory, theory, theory. So, end to end project implementation 2024 is the target, right? When the
Yes.
project's implementations are done strongly by you people, things will become manageable in interview. Okay. So, Niranjan, what else do you want to advise your juniors?
Sir, there is a one advice, like important advice, like whenever you are giving the interview, whether you know the things or like don't know the things, try to give the put the accuracy mode should be a 90%, because when you put your skill sets in the resume, you should be more accuracy on that skill sets, because he will focusing. Of course he will ask whatever the questions he needs, but the thing is ki, you should at least able to answer what you had learned. That is the kind of a things, and face the interview with a calm, and not do not take any tensions, and hope it will be going good.
All right. Thank you so much, Niranjan,
Thank you,
for
sir.
sharing all the interview questions and what students needs to do now, right? You have to make the complete understanding of the project and the resume content a strong reference for your learning. Whatever you put in your resume, the questions are being asked based on that. If you put core Java 8, they'll pick the questions. Tell me what features were added in core Java 8. Next, they'll ask, where did you use core Java 8 in your project? Correct? And then they will start picking up core Java, some questions on Stream API. The interview questions will be linked like this. Okay, so I hope you are getting this idea, all of you. Now let's continue further. Now, next candidate, thank you, Niranjan. Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
yeah, we'll now invite Shushmita. Sushmita, two people are there. I don't know. Shushmita NV, Shushmita Singh. So one, yeah, Shushmita NV. So let's start with Sushmita. Let's start with your introduction. What's your qualification, company that you've got placed in, and your package details?
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you for your guidance and support throughout my journey. And I'm very grateful for you for your dedication and inspiration, sir. You have really changed many people's life. And thank you for that. And coming to my introduction, I have completed my engineering, specialized in computer science and engineering. I'm 2018 passed out graduate, and my highest package is 10.48 LPA and lowest is 8 LPA. And I was placed in two companies.
So
Yeah,
10
currently I'm
point something, and the lowest
yeah,
package is 8 LPA.
yeah.
So Sushmita, can you just speak little louder and be little away from the mic set, because we have some problem with the speakers here. Just little loud so that it'll be clear for us.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So now we want to know about the interview questions. What questions are they asking in the interviews, and how we need to tackle, how we need to answer, how many minutes we need to give the answer, because sometimes students they give lengthy answers. Is that advisable? Some
No,
people
sir.
give very short answers. How we need to tackle this?
Yes. First of all, in general, there'll be two technical rounds and one managerial round. So in technical round, the common questions which they ask is uh, Java 8 features, difference between abstract and interface, and OOPS concept. These are the common questions which in every interview they'll ask. So you should be well versed in these concepts. And coming to Stream API, they'll ask what is difference between map and flat map. What does filter method does? What does reduce method does? And in RESTful services, they'll ask difference between REST and RESTful. And also they'll ask uh, difference between put and patch, and also the methods that we use: get, post, put, delete. What does each method does? And another thing is string annotations. They'll ask, they frequently ask what is component scan annotation, component, at the rate component. What's the difference between at the rate component and at the rate controller? And also annotations like enable auto configuration. And, these are the concepts they ask from Spring, and also they'll ask dependency injection related things, um, which is the best approach, whether constructor dependency is best, or at the rate auto wired is best. And also they'll ask questions on functional interface and lambdas expression. In functional interface, the default keyword and static keyword, which one we can override, which one we cannot override. And they'll ask questions on microservices. Yes, sir. And also, these are related to technical rounds. And in managerial round, they'll focus more on the scenario-based questions. And also, they'll ask day-to-day activities that we'll be doing in our company, basically. So, and scenario-based questions like, say for example, if there are more data, then obviously the load time will be more, right? Then what will be your approach to minimize the load time? These kind of questions. So we have to answer. We have to include pagination, lazy loading, indexes. We have to explain these concepts for these kind of questions. And also they'll ask, how do you resolve ambiguity problem in Spring Beans? Say, for example, when multiple at the rate auto wires are there, then how do you solve this ambiguity problem? So you should answer it as we can use at the rate qualifier and at the rate primary annotation we can use and resolve it. And yeah, these are the questions which I faced first. And also they'll ask about exception handling. In general, they'll ask for a global exception, but for specifically, they'll also ask like which approach is best, whether to use thread or runnable. Uh, yeah, these are the questions. And Spring security is the common question in every interview. Spring security, JWT, and also they'll ask for roles and responsibility in your project. And also the day-to-day activity, like how you would log in, um, and also how would you review code.
I'll just repeat the questions, what she was telling. So the part one of the questions, what she was talking about, post, put, functional interfaces, lambdas expressions, that has been one of the straightforward questions. So I don't see any problem there, right? This is something that can be tackled easily by the candidates. But then when it comes to scenario-based questions, she was telling that, what if there is a lot of data that is present in your database? How would you fetch that data? Now, this was an indirect way of asking the question that, did you apply pagination? See, pagination is nothing but people. See, many times when you just go here and let's say we search for pagination. pagination and sorting. Seniors might know this, but there are some people here. So if you now just go here to pagination and sorting, see, there are all the tables, and these tables you will observe just below this table, there are numbering that has been given. Can you see that here? 1, 2, next, last. Now, when you click on 1, it will display only 10 records. Next, you click on 2, another 10 records. Then you click on next few records. So you're fetching the records part by part from your database. And there is sorting. If I click on the employee last name, the sorting will happen based on the last name in the table. So this is what she meant basically. So like this, there are indirect way of asking questions that might happen. They might not ask you the questions straightforward, right? So this is what she was telling overall. And importantly, confidence, calmness while speaking, and preparation with all the topics that has been mentioned in your resume. This is very important. Every point that you put in your resume is very, very important. Fine. All right. Thank you so much, Shushmita, for joining us, sharing
Thank you.
all these interview questions. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So now I'm going to invite the next candidate, Pramod. Now, a lot of Pramod. So who is my student? Please Yep. So I have Pramod here. So Pramod,
Hi,
very
sir.
good afternoon. Hi, Pramod. Pramod, let's start with the companies that have got placed in and the packages. See, it looks so simple, no? These guys, they come, they tell, I got 8 lakhs package, 10 lakhs package, but trust me, it's not that simple as how it looks. They just talking for 5 minutes. Behind this 5 minutes of speech they're giving here, it is almost 7 to 8 months of practice which they have put in order to reach till here. There are students where day and night they have studied, worked hard, dedicatedly with full focus to achieve this goal. So all we right now listen is 5 कंपनी में प्लेस हो गया, 8 लाख का पैकेज लग गया, ये कितना आसान साउंड हो रहा है. But trust me, the student has gone through lot of things, starting from staying in the PG, eating the food of PG, to preparation, to disturbance factors. During the 6 months of course, somebody might get demotivated for some reason, keeping that focus on daily doing the same work, which is so boring, but still. So Pramod, let's start now. What's the package that you've got and companies that you've got placed in?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you for your this one. I have around 10 interviews. I have placed in 2 companies. One was the TCS and another one was the Ford Motors. Highest package is 10 LPA and lowest package is 6 LPA.
Right. So, you heard the package, what he said? No. Pramod, we did not.
I am audible now? Hello?
Yeah, you're audible.
Highest package is 10 LPA and lowest package is 6 LPA.
Highest package is 10 LPA, right? Lowest I could not hear. There is some problem in terms of the audio, but we'll try to manage that. So Pramod, are you nervous?
LPA? No, sir.
No. Okay. So खुल के बताइए सारा questions वगैरह सब detail में. Tell us all the questions in detailed manner.
Okay, I am from Karnataka only, in Chikmagalur. I taken 2 interviews in this one. The Ford Motors I have 2 rounds of interview. First was the technical round and another one was the managerial round. They are asked in first rounds only definitions like means DevOps concept and Java 8 features Then stream APIs, difference between the flat map and filter map. Then finalize finally keywords. That's also asked questions. And then coming to my collections part, it will ask for collection and collections, difference between collection and collections, and then internal working of hash map, and the concurrent working of hash map. That's also asking. Then difference between fail list iterator and fail fast iterators. There are. And coming to my Spring Boot, it will ask what is the difference between Spring and Spring Boot, and then Spring AOP. There ask, and dependency injections. Then difference between the Hibernate and JPA, and CRUD repository and JPA repository difference.
Okay, so there's been straightforward questions in his case. I don't see any twist and turn, right? Whatever questions he's talking about, like JPA repository, CRUD repository, and whatever questions he's talking about. So anything we should focus on, promote exclusively? Promote,
Questions.
yeah,
Means,
anything?
yeah, yeah. In project related questions means also implementing the Spring security part, and then JW tokens in the implement. Then how can you handle the file uploads in Spring Boot applications? This type of questions we'll ask. Then how to handle the authentication and authorizations in Spring Boot applications? This type of question it will ask. And one more means in how can handle the transactions in Spring Boot, and difference between the means accurate transactional annotations. This type of question.
Right. So audio is not that clear, but what I have heard so far, things are straightforward. In his case, whatever he's mentioning, Spring AOP needs to be bit focused, the theory part of that. That is one thing what he's talking about. Let's try to focus on that. So Pramod,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us. God bless you and congratulations. Mukesh. Mukesh is not here. Mukesh, are you here? Your display name is different. Mukesh, if you're here, drop a message in the chat box. Mukesh, if you're here, drop a message in the chat box. Okay. So guys, the crux today's alumni meet, the learning is one, you have to start working on indirect way of asking questions. The questions might not be direct. Second, work on all the questions given by placed candidates, so that will automatically cover 97% of scenario based questions also, right? Third, the project that you put in your resume, you should be really good with that. Okay, so definitely starting from October batches, we have a lot of change that has been done in terms of the project learning, as the scenario based questions are being asked. That's more. So we will be working on that, and a lot of things we'll try to cover there. That should give you confidence to speak well. Last but not the least, once you attend 10 interviews, write on all that questions that you got in your interviews, start preparing on that. I'm sure from there further, the interviews that you see, the questions are almost going to be the same. Okay, alumni meet khatam. Right? So today's alumni meet ends here. We'll again meet up the next Saturday and we'll interact with more placed candidates. Yeah? Okay, everyone. Was now this giving you clarity how to prepare? देखिए बेसिकली आप सीनियर बैच से हो, नहीं ऐसा नहीं होगा। जब हम माइक्रो सर्विसेज के बारे में बात करेंगे, दैट इज वेयर वी विल ट्राई टू डिस्कस ऑन दैट। फर्स्टली हाउ डू यू नो विच माइक्रो सर्विसेज डाउन, राइट? ये सारी चीजें हमें देखनी पड़ेगी, राइट? ओके, सो विल डिस्कस दैट ड्यूरिंग द classroom lectures. Okay. All right, guys. Bye bye. Take care. I hope today's alumni meet was confidence giving. If yes, you can drop a message here in the chat box. आज का alumni meet ठीक था? Yes. This link also will be shared with you. Bye, guys. Take care. We'll meet up again on Monday. Fine. Bye.